greater than the fear and death that surrounded us.
State of Decay 3 is an open-world survival game set years after a zombie apocalypse nearly wiped out humankind. An evolving zombie threat is taking over the landscape, and you need to carve out a life for your community of survivalist homesteaders. The choices you make affect game events and storylines, so be careful. If one of your community members falls to the zombie horde, you'll lose that character and their abilities forever. Every risk must be weighed against the reward. Projekt Z, Beyond Order. Experience the intense action of battling the undead in this thrilling first-person zombie shooter with robust character progression and extensive weapon customization. Set around World War II, take on fast-paced missions or explore the terrifying island in free roam mode as one of 4 survivors, each with their own unique abilities, and roll in 4-player co-op. Shoot, loot, craft, survive. Play as one of 4 characters, each with their own special abilities. Nakwon Last Paradise. Seoul, the city of scarce guns and plentiful hiding spots within its clustered buildings and alleys. Survive as an ordinary human, relying solely on your senses, and keep yourself safe from zombies. You must infiltrate the city full of zombies and other survivors, players, to collect useful items and sell them or make money by completing missions. Be cautious as you'll lose everything you have once you die.
Who's ready for a bit of fun then?
Killing Floor 3. It's 2091. Join up with Nightfall, the last line of defense against Megacorp Horzine's inhuman army of monstrous Zeds. The future is in your hands, if you can survive long enough to reach it. Killing Floor 3 is the next installment in the legendary action/horror series. This intense FPS puts you in the boots of a Nightfall specialist joining forces with up to 5 teammates to battle waves of Zeds, earn dosh, unlock skills, and build the ultimate arsenal.
To do this smart, we'd be leaving Jackson vulnerable.
So they just get to get away with this?
How'd you find us?
The Last of Us Part 2. 5 years after their dangerous journey across the post-pandemic United States, Ellie and Joel have settled down in Jackson, Wyoming. Living amongst a thriving community of survivors has allowed them peace and stability, despite the constant threat of the infected and other, more desperate survivors. When a violent event disrupts that peace, Ellie embarks on a relentless journey to carry out justice and find closure. As she hunts those responsible one by one, she is confronted with the devastating physical and emotional repercussions of her actions.
There's a cost.
Three, two, one.
John Carpenter's Toxic Commando. In the near future, an experimental attempt to harness the power of the Earth's core ends in a terrifying disaster. the release of the sludge god. This eldritch abomination begins terraforming the area, turning soil to scum and the living to undead monsters. However, the genius behind the experiment has a plan to make things right. All he needs is a team of competent, highly trained mercenaries to get the job done. Unfortunately, those are all too expensive, which is why he's hired. Take control of one of the commandos, team up with your friends, and send the sludge god and its horde of things that should never be back to the underworld. Blight. Survival is a medieval cooperative extraction-like pitting you and up to 3 other players against mortals and monsters in a desperate attempt to reach and destroy the source of the Blight, a deadly affliction that plagues the land. The game takes place in the no-man's land between 2 desperate kingdoms in a ceaseless war. Within this purgatory, a new strain of Blight has erupted from remains of the fallen. Fed and strengthened by the blood that has been spilled, it rapidly spreads, turning man into monster.
Real beast here.
Dying Light. The Beast is a thrilling standalone zombie adventure set in the post-apocalyptic Castor Woods, a once popular tourist destination. After 13 years of enduring experiments, you escape and hunt down your captors to seek retribution, only to discover there's far more at stake. While the region is not as populated as it once was, there are still people and factions here. God Save Birmingham is a zombie apocalypse survival game set in 14th century Birmingham, England. The early access version will focus on a sandbox mode utilizing a small portion of the town. The full town will be available at official release, with a campaign mode coming later to complete the experience. A strange plague sweeps the countryside, transforming men into monsters and cities into slaughterhouses. You are one of the last survivors of Birmingham, alone against the shambling corpses of your former friends and neighbors, with only your wits to protect you.
We're long past the point of hope.
Into the Dead. Our Darkest Days is a side-scrolling shelter survival game that tasks you with guiding a desperate group of zombie apocalypse survivors to safety. Craft weapons, scavenge resources, balance your group's needs, and try to get everyone out of danger alive. Texas, 1980. Walton City is a sprawling, coastal metropolis in the grip of a scorching heat wave and crippling economic crisis. Everything changes when an unstoppable zombie outbreak reaches U.S. shores. Walton City is soon overrun by hordes of the undead, the few remaining survivors cut off from any chance of outside help.